El albatros negro by María Oruña. This book, 645 pages, is so overwhelming. And there's a lot I like about it, and I would love to just sit and talk about everything I like about it. It really was just so overwhelming. I skimmed in the end. I skimmed. And I wonder if I should have put it on like my DNF list. Did not finish, but I did finish the book, but I skimmed in the end. Overall impression, I liked the story and the themes in this book. However, it was a lot to read and I found it overwhelming. Plot summaries, because this is set in 2 different time periods. An elderly woman has passed away and circumstances seem suspicious. It turns out circumstances were suspicious, and Lucia may have discovered something or crossed paths with the wrong people while searching for a sunken ship from the 1700s. The other storyline, the other main storyline, is in the 1700s, Vigo, Spain. Miranda is a young woman living in Vigo studying insects, her life passion apparently. The Spanish ruler dies, leaving the throne to a French person, creating upset. Then everybody fears that there's going to be a superpower formed between France and Spain, so everybody is fighting. That's what the War of Spanish Succession was, I think. I don't know. So those are the 2 main storylines. Miranda in the 1700s and everything going on with the War of Spanish Succession, and then Lucia and what she may have discovered. Positives, interesting stories set in 2 different time periods, converging perspectives, some characters that I felt connected to. I like Lucia's character, and then she forms this friendship, which I thought was kind of surprising, and I liked it. I like Miranda's character mostly. Let's see, a lot of info about history, shipwrecks and laws, diving and finding artifacts. That is really neat. Some info about investigations, autopsies, police procedures, things like that. Tons of value in the book, which kind of turned it into a negative because it was just so much, plus in Spanish. Interesting writing style. So it was fun sometimes. Sometimes you'll be in this mundane scene, and then at the end of the scene, there's like, she walks away from her computer because they have to go to an emergency, and then the info that she was waiting to pop up ended up, she's like, oh, but on her computer is the information she was looking for. So it's like this, sometimes a very fun, creative way to tell the story. Negatives, cumbersome. This book is loaded with information about history, shipwrecks, diving, butterflies and insects, customs, buildings and architecture, boats, IDK, what else? Not to mention the many characters and their situations, backstories. Not to mention the author has a detailed way of writing every scene. Just a lot to read. Not to mention it's written in Spanish, and some of it in the 1700s, so there are outdated terms like menester. Es menester que, which is, it's necessary that, although that's an archaic term. So I'm like, I know some terminology, and then like boat terminology, like what even is a ballast, and like then I'm learning it in Spanish. I'm like, it's a lot. I usually don't judge a book by the storylines or plot, right? Okay, but I found some of the plot difficult to believe. Like in the end, what they decided to do at the dive site, right? I'm like, is that even possible? And if so, would they have done that? And I think just also because it was such a difficult book to read, then when I read that, I was just like, okay. But it's not my book. And I wish I had known going in, like there is some, I read online, somebody said some inventiveness by the author. So I was like, if I had kind of known that going in, I wouldn't have been so like, okay. But it's not my book, it's her book. And I still liked a lot about it. So much. I recommend if you have time to sit with a book. This is not a fast-paced thriller, although there are some kind of action scenes. I recommend if you like Spanish history, boating, diving, police, Spain, architecture, fashion, sicarios, mystery flowers, black market. Literally, there is so much in this book. It would be fun for a book group. I might read another book by this author. Maybe not. I included some book quotes. If you want to go to WordPress, mayhemmilly.wordpress.com and read my full review, or just read the book. María Oruña, El albatros negro.